I would like to contribute to the conversation, a civil, balanced, non-political conversation about new energy in its opportunities, in the fact that I believe it's inevitable. A transition to advanced energy is inevitable around the world. It's well underway. This is an area where the U.S. in the past has led in innovation and creativity in the way it has for decades in other areas. And so I think with the inevitable onset of renewables, with the increasing demand we're going to see across the world for energy as the population continues to grow and as more folks in the third world aspire to be part of the middle class, which comes with a demand increase for energy. Those things, more people, new levels of income and aspirations, all of that equates to an increasing demand, and the demand, I think, must be satisfied by a rapid transition to advanced energy rather than continuing to rely on fossil fuels with all of the geopolitical baggage that those things involve. I mean, we continue to import about 3 million barrels of oil a day, in spite of the fact we're now producing nearly as much as we need. But our allies continue to import oil for transportation and other purposes, which means that we are to some extent obliged to the nations who produce oil, other than the United States and Canada, nations that don't share our interests. We would like to get rid of those geopolitical tethers. We would like to create new tethers based on technology and manufacturing expertise and the like. And my hope is that we can do that rapidly and that we as a nation can lead it. I'm a grandparent, and that makes a whole lot of difference to me. I've had a couple of very satisfying careers. 39 years in the Navy, 35 years as an officer. And during that time, I recognized the only energy thing that was profoundly apparent to me during that time was that the logistical train necessary to get me and my crew and my ship where it had to be useful to the American people, the energy demands were incredible. Okay, well, we just figured out how to satisfy the demands and make the logistics work, even though we recognized the vulnerability associated with using fossil fuels. In every case, is much more than you would want it to be. Well, after I retired from the Navy, I had the privilege of being involved for 14 years in building a business in a nonprofit, nonpartisan research and analysis organization. A piece of what we did had to do with energy, water, and climate. We started out relating that to the national security interests of the United States because that's my background, that's the background of the company I was working for, CNA Corporation. And I got more and more involved in that particular piece of study. We did other things. We worked for the Department of Homeland Security and Justice and Education and Agriculture and the like. But the thing that fascinated me most about what we were able to do was the creation of an understanding of where we are and where we need to go in energy, water, and climate, and what the national security consequences are. So when I retired from CNA, now I'm a granddad, I said, this is something that I know enough about, I hope I can be persuasive about, and if I can be part of the conversation that brings about a rapid change in the conditions that my grandkids face, and their kids and grandkids will face, then that's a good way to spend the third career.